Okay guys, got Creeping Death from Fix, also known as Mugwort at the top left. We've got HighContrast, bottom left, Bugzilla, top right, mastertan, bottom right. And we're going to go around and commentate on some of this high-level Bughouse here. So we've got quite a non-engaging opening between mastertan and HighContrast, both just developing. And you've got what looks like an advanced French type position on the other board. So two balanced positions. I think Mugwort making some progress on the queen side with some material. And now trying to launch an attack on the king side. Here, HighContrast also developing some initiative. So the left side building a bit of an edge here. Mugwort making the comment, we're always up.
That would be so strong.
There's one.
Yes, the first.
Quest accomplished.
Okay. The options all look like they're on the left side. Mugwort and HighContrast. So Bugzilla with a king on g7, but plenty of pieces on the king side. Oh, mastertan's given up the queen. Well, I think Bugzilla needs to be careful on the dark squares. So rook mates for HighContrast here. Knight strong as well. Oh, they've mated. They've got a queen as well. Alright, overkill. Overkill.
Happiness.
Happiness. So we're here in Sydney. It's thanks to HighContrast we're actually having this. So mastertan's actually flown up from Melbourne, HighContrast from Japan. This is actually the first time I've met mastertan as well. But Bugzilla and Mugwort have been friends for a long time in Sydney. Okay, we just switch colours. Set to go again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, got E6 D6 by mastertan. Bugzilla's playing one of my pet openings with Knight H3. So the idea of Knight H3 over there is that it's sometimes more useful on F4. And just take advantage of that pawn on E6, blocking things up. So Bugzilla's already got some dark squares to hit on F6 G6, G7. And mastertan now trying to make ground.
No queen.
There's a red.
Alright, so Bugzilla now trading for his partner. So mastertan's deciding if he should grab some material or try to continue attacking.
Getting a knight and pawn and other stuff.
So we've got Mugwort here suggesting they should hold for a little while. Alright, rook h5.
I'm going to move in about 4 seconds. Yeah, you can do that. Bring the queen to h4.
Queen h4 coming in. So mastertan just building pieces on the king side here.
You're going to move rook g2.
Oh, giving up queen. Alright, so the rook file open, but doesn't look entirely dangerous. Can be sidestepped by mastertan, so rook takes g7, king h8, knight at f6. Ooh.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, fine.
I think mastertan's a little bit more fine than HighContrast.
Yep.
Ooh, knight at e3. So the idea of that is the pawn on f2 is blocking the diagonal of the queen on h4. Mastertan's trying to shepherd that king into checkmate. Oh, mate in one. Ah. No, it wasn't the time to attack yet. Too hard.
What did I do wrong? I had this in the opening.
So we've been making a joke here. Bughouse is a game that can be played without thinking. So the advice we've given HighContrast here is one play, only think one move ahead.
Yeah, thinking.
Alright, we're all set. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, e4, e5 this time, mastertan. We've got two different openings. Bugzilla's playing all of my pet openings, but I don't think this one works as well in Bughouse as it does in Crazy House. Board's gone explosive on Mugwort versus Bugzilla. Queens have come off. The board is bare over here, nothing in the center. Okay, bishop f4, defending the rook on d1.
Okay, interesting. Oh, safety.
So HighContrast building the Great Wall of China around this king.
Gus McLean.
Gus McLean, huh? Oh, now he's building the great augmented wall of China.
He's gonna still make me some more.
So, like 2 rows of pawns wasn't enough, he decided a 4th rank of bishops would be good. And now proceeding with the 4th layer of the wall with pawn at e5. Okay, other board's congested and blocked up. Despite starting explosively, it's cooled down. Who's up on the clocks?
We are 20 seconds up.
Alright. Okay. Ooh, Queen G2 sacked. Looks like HighContrast, the spider, he trapped the queen by luring it into f2. Oh, HighContrast, yeah, he's found something decisive. Pawn and knight will win. Well, pawn is good enough, he's got knight f5. No, it's game over.
Now we found the way.
Does it really make? Yeah.
So yeah, gotta say, I think you gotta give Mugwort or Creeping Death more credit over the board. He doesn't stop moving. On paper, Bugzilla and mastertan might look like the favourites, but over the board, this is a very balanced match. Alright, so they resign on the right side.
That's how I always want this kind of position. The super wall, and then it's easy, right?
Super wall. Alright, so this one's for the Europeans. HighContrast, you received messages. Hope you represent the Northern Hemisphere well when you go down to Sydney. So he's showing us how it's done. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, we got French from mastertan. He's built up the wall, e6, d6, d5 sack from Creeping Death. I'm gonna have to refer to Mugwort as Creeping Death. That's the name he's better known for on Fix. Feels unusual calling you Mugwort. What do you prefer?
Don't tread no queen.
Whatever you feel like.
Whatever I feel like.
He's sitting so I can think.
Okay.
Don't show queens, you said.
Okay, so we've got HighContrast giving up a little bit of defense on F3 and H3 to make weaknesses on the light squares. The mastertan's got a D8 square to push his king to, so there's some safety there. Now he's continuing on the king's side. Knight at A5, looking for knight at C6. He's not allowing it.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. So I think mastertan needs to defend here. Knight at H3 doesn't have to be taken. In fact, it's better that it's not taken, otherwise it allows rook at H1 check and bishop at G2. That would be decisive. So here, knight takes C6 is the threat that needs to be covered before we can play. Before he can play bishop at F3, he just missed. Oh, that's helped HighContrast. Because now bishop D7 and bishop takes C7 is possible.
He's not running any checks, he's got 2 tempi. Bishop D6, just normal moves.
Knight takes B7, he's decided. So this is the critical board here. HighContrast versus mastertan.
I just didn't want to burn my rook.
He's looking at bishop A6, I think. But if HighContrast allows a move, then bishop at F3 is going to turn the tides. He's got to attack accurately. So he opts for knight takes D6. He's got plenty of pieces in hand. Ooh, that looks decisive. Rook at C7. Yeah, either knight at A6 with king B8 or king D8, knight at B7. A nice game, HighContrast.
And now I'm very motivated.
Yeah, alright. We warmed up a bit earlier this morning and HighContrast felt he was lagging behind us. Now he's in the groove. He's showing the Australians. Don't push the foreigner around. Alright, when the Northern Hemisphere sees this, they'll say, yeah.
Alright. 3 to 1.
Okay, French again. Knight takes E4. We've got D5 gambit up with Creeping Death up against Bugzilla. So getting very active. E5, E4, Knight G5. Creeping Death looking to make something on the light squares in pawn E2, but there's a lot of minor pieces covering. And mastertan finding some gaps on the dark squares. It's not looking good for the left side team here. But he's only got pawns in hand, mastertan, so it's
No rook.
So pawns on E3 and F2. Knight C4 played. White has to be careful. HighContrast needs to be careful. So we see mastertan here just go for the dark squares. In mastertan's philosophy, he just looks at squares, nothing else. Light squares or dark squares. Doesn't matter where the pieces are, maybe. Okay, he's trying to liquidate the attack from HighContrast on the light squares. So what's going on the other board?
Queen would be good. I mean, rook really hurts me.
Sack a queen or no? It's too much.
the coordination here is important.
I mean, just yes, the distance threat. I
can get you a rook.
Yeah, I'll
like
try.
a second queen, but he's getting a lot of heavies. Oh.
So Creeping Death's trying to get a rook for c8 for high contrast, and yeah, the board Creeping Death versus Bugzilla is more about piece control at the moment. Neither of their kings are in immediate danger. The action is on high contrast board. Another knight will hurt him, but I think that's something that Creeping Death can control. The knight on e5 on Creeping Death's board is not under immediate threat. Oh, he's given up a knight. That's going to be dangerous for high contrast. Now, queen on b8 is great because it defends b2. And now bishop at a5 giving more coverage to the c3 square. He's still trying to find a way in. Knight at c3 dangerous. Mastertan is really solid back at home. It's got the bishop on d8, the bishop on f8. I'll move around here so we can see. It's got the knight still on g8, so he's nearly impenetrable except for the queen on d7. You need a bishop on c8 to get through, but knight at c3 is a mate threat, so the critical board is moving in the favour of the team on the right. Oh, bishop at e1, controlling the dark square.
Maybe I'm alive now.
He's giving him a bit of life. Plenty of play in the position still. I haven't mentioned it for the viewers, but we've got a 5-minute time control here. We're taking it easy, allowing ourselves to think a bit more in some of the critical positions. Okay, bishop at h5. Queen trade doesn't favour high contrast here. So
yeah, it's probably that, or at least
I think Mastertan's chipping away at the position.
You just had mate one.
I saw after it.
That's it. Oh, we got one for Mastertan there.
Yeah, this was about the one moment. We said 30 seconds, right? Double sit.
You guys have been on a good streak. The potential's on your side.
It's getting clear play, so it's probably best just to move. Keep go.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Creeping Death has asked for keep go, which is Bughouse language for let's move faster. What's amusing is the partner tells, which are automated through the thief interface on Fix, often spill out in these matches. So if you hear some shortcut language, that's where it's coming from. Bit of pawn good, a bit of knight mates, a bit of okay now. Alright, so Mastertan, 2 knights on f5 and f6, controlling the king side very well.
Queen's swing.
He's pulling d4 apart now. Pawn at h6, I don't see the follow-up though. The knight's covering h6.
Okay, thanks for looking. Alright.
Yeah, just not quite.
There
we go. This is good.
Ooh, there's a queen now in high contrast hand. He's not in immediate danger, even though the king's on g7. He's got plenty of coverage. Knight at h5 is a key check to avoid there. The knight on f6 is covering it nicely. Meanwhile, Bugzilla is pressing on Creeping Death. So doubling the rooks, hitting e7. Okay. H takes G6, bishop E6 is mating. Oof. Creeping death. Contemplating king takes G6. I think that's a tight spot. Creeping death.
Queen?
Yeah.
Okay, bishop F6 played.
Incoming.
Okay, I'm dead.
It looks like there's mate on that board. Yeah. So rook F6 played first.
Let me go.
There's 3 pawns, there's a bishop and a knight in hand for Bugzilla. Another knight would be decisive. So a queen is on offer here. That's what mastertan's trying to trade off, but the clocks aren't in favour of Bugzilla and mastertan, so Bugzilla's having to be resourceful with his pieces.
Mastertan? Maybe.
But I need the attack with the queens, I don't have it. How much I read
Like 3 seconds before the third.
This bishop at G7 wasn't good.
Oh, I think creeping deaths improved this situation.
I don't think knight G5 was good.
Yeah, it's too slow, right? No, I need 2 moves.
Okay.
Tell me when I...
So Bugzilla's just being cautious here because if he lets the rook off the back rank,
we don't have any attack.
perhaps he's concerned if the queen trade may go against him. I think he should be fine though. He's going to keep that rook. Okay, we're going again on both boards. No. Creeping Death has put the queen on D1 to try to trade off the queens because that's the only blocker that Bugzilla had in hand. And that's to try to give him a bit more of a chance at safety.
Nice.
But no, we got mate here. The mastertan and Bugzilla fighting back.
Anyone know the next score?
No, but I'm sure the viewers will be able to figure it out if they've been counting. I think.
Standard 0-0.
I think Creeping Death, HighContrast won a few, and then. Okay. Alright. Don't forget HighContrast, you're representing Europe, you're representing the Northern Hemisphere.
Give me something.
There's no pressure. Alright, bishop f7 sack on this board.
I go.
Okay. Okay, so the attack is happening here. So mastertan's played queen f8 early. The idea of this is to allow the king to move back to e8 and then d8. That's quite a safe square for the king. The queen on f8 also offers some coverage to g7 in some cases. So in Bughouse, you've got to make use of your piece's mobility. You've got to bring the pieces to the king. It's not about, not always about having the king in the corner.
So I guess I go ahead.
We've got a middle game with no pawns in the center over here. Got some fairly balanced trades going on. I think this is the board where it's critical on how white and black move. Got, oh, could have queens coming off. Queens are coming off. Alright.
Pawn would be good, as always.
The trouble here is Bugzilla has a residual advantage trying to pick up some material. But the style of Creeping Death here is he just generally doesn't give material away. Okay, knight at h5 played, capturing g7. The rook can be captured, but the pieces aren't as critical here because mastertan is defending, so the loss of a rook or even loss of a queen by Creeping Death isn't immediately hurting. Oh, but Creeping Death is bleeding material.
Not too many rows.
Balance time now. That means that you need something, or I should...
Alright. Communicate, guys. Okay, knight's good, that's coming. So Creeping Death holding on to his forward pawn on f2 and knight at e4. Also attacking f6. So a knight's going to hurt Creeping Death. Knight at e5 wasn't played though.
They're up on top. Not by flag.
Okay.
You can check a few times.
Bugzilla and mastertan up slightly.
Queen is gonna be good for me.
So high contrast here, looking for queen takes h6, queen h5 check to trade queens.
Even one rook doesn't kill.
The only attacking chances for Creeping Death are on the back rank. You know, a rook on e1 or a queen on e1. So here they're debating if one queen is okay. Okay, pawn f7 played first. King d8 was also playable. Ooh, you got to be careful if you mastertan here. I think potentially King d8.
E8 maybe.
Bugzilla was suggesting e8. I think that was more dangerous though. That was going to allow potentially knight takes c7, check, rook to c7, queen h5. Oh, queen h5 wasn't on, sorry. What am I talking about? The knight's covering h5. No, what I was saying before was knight takes c7, rook takes c7, and the d file opens up.
Yeah,
maybe it wasn't critical.
Everything is fine.
Okay.
Rook is fine.
Okay. So Creeping Death and High Contrast now with the time advantage.
Queen comes next move.
I think the residual advantage lies with mastertan and Bugzilla here. It's just a bit of a grind to get in. Okay, we're off again. Two queens are going to come Bugzilla's way. That's going to hurt. Oh, it's looking bad. Europe is weeping. Represent. Europe is weeping.
Okay, no. Europe strikes back.
Europe strikes. Alright,
I sacked early.
the face of Europe.
Not good.
Anything you want to say to Europe? High Contrast.
Don't sack too early.
Don't sack too early. Just sack late. That's what he's saying. Bugzilla's saying is he who sacks first laughs last. So he's laughing right now. Look at that. That's the guy who sacked first.
Must have sacked a lot.
Sack first and sack a lot. Is that it?
Now we're gonna get you.
Oh, okay. It's on. Now we're gonna get you. High Contrast.
Break the streak.
3, 2, 1, go. Looking solid from High Contrast. Big center. You can set up the Great Wall again, maybe.
Yeah, that always works.
Oh, here he comes. Pawn at g3.
And it can't do anything.
How much is that?
The Bugzilla likes his pieces. Likes to place pieces. Sensitive to High Contrast and Creeping Death will be up time here. You can also read High Contrast body language. He knows he's in control here. He either looks nervous or he looks very relaxed, and that's the relaxed pose when he's winning.
Too many trades. Like Peter's leg. I could be there.
Okay, he puts another brick in his wall. Pawn at h2. Ooh, He's let that one in.
Knight mates.
Oh, knightmate's over the other side. Let's have a look over there.
Knight would make.
Knight at c4 looks very dangerous.
Just sit.
This is getting critical. So it looked like mate was on mastertan's board, but king takes e2 is an escape square after bishop at e4. There's a lot of checks.
Grab it with 2 hands.
Juicy knight, hey? Bishop at f6. Okay, knight at a3 is going to be mate in 1. So, creeping death and high contrast up 10 seconds here. Creeping death just needs mate in 1, knight at a3. I thought mastertan had it in the bag. Oh, he does have it in the bag, but he should have played it earlier. Yeah, I shouldn't say.
Maybe bishop a4 is the only check.
I shouldn't say, but for the viewers, it's not d4.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
It may have been heard, but knight d4 we're talking about here. Yeah, that's my so I think knight d4 should have played earlier by mastertan. If bishop takes d4, queen at e4 mate. If the king backs off to g2, he's getting mated, but that would have been better earlier before the knight mated Bugzilla.
Yeah,
So Europe is happy again.
I built the wall. That's it.
I know.
Yeah.
I nearly.
Just in the beginning, 2-3 pawns.
That's nice.
All right, you're going for a break.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pause the video there. I'll jump in.